Hey guys, this is DJ Wolf. I wanted to talk about the continuing saga about the racist governor, known as Governor Northam, out here in the DMV in Virginia. Last we checked, he's still not trying to leave office. Really? You know what? You do know this is 30 miles per hour. You're not even doing that. Okay, this is something I normally don't do. I gotta get to work and I don't know what he's doing. Man, he drive way too slow. This guy drive way too slow. I usually don't complain about people driving slow, but this dude's like not even doing speed limit. I got to get to work. You know. But anyway, so let me get started with this, because now they're trying to throw a monkey in the wrench behind this behind his controversy and try to create another controversy on the black lieutenant governor. Let me get to it. This is DJ Wolf Live. All right, guys. Here's the latest. Governor Northam, of course, as you know, over the weekend, is still refusing to step down as governor. He flip-flopped, of course. First he said that was him in the picture. Then the next day he said, no, it wasn't me. But I did blackface before on in another event. Even though there's pictures of Governor Northam as a college person, as a student or whatever he was, on one picture, and then on another picture, it definitely appears to be him in blackface. So he's full of shit. That was him, you know. Anyway, here's the thing. Now, it's mounting pressure on him to get out of his governorship as governor of the state of Virginia. Meanwhile, the heir apparent to the governorship, who is the Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax, is he hasn't actually said whether he think he should get out now, but he said to do what's best for the state. Now that makes sense. That was a very great statement. I just heard that just this morning. Now they're trying to create a controversy on him, saying that he had he is being or saying that there's allegations of sexual assault by him in 2004 from a liaison that he had with some woman, and I'm assuming this is before he got married. But he said this morning also in the report that not only was it a falsification about it, but the Washington Post a year ago actually had reported on a similar grounds regarding that same person, and had proven that it was unfounded. It was a consensual relationship. But they're trying to dig up dirt on the lieutenant governor. Mainly one reason why, because they don't want a black guy to be governor in Virginia. There was only one black guy who was ever governor in the state of Virginia. That was Douglas Wilder. And he had white roots, I think. But anyway, this guy, Justin Fairfax, has roots in Virginia himself, I believe. Well, he was born there. He was born in the DMV. And I think his great-great-grandfather was a slave. So he has, you know, but nevertheless, the thing is, they're trying to throw him under the bus. See, they don't want the white man who did wrong in blackface to step down, but they want to throw mud on the black man who had consensual sex with a woman and try to trump up charges on him for something that he didn't do. This is the game that the lamestream white media play all the damn time. They've always played this game. They've played it for years, and they continue to do so. You know? And I think that's, for lack of a better word, fucked up, that you want to fuck with this brother just because he's black. Which is, in essence, is what you guys are doing. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about it. That's exactly what y'all doing. Y'all been doing this shit for years, and you continue to do the same mudslinging y'all have always done for decades. You know, really for eons, for generations. Y'all have always done this shit. And this shit is getting old. Real old, real quick, real fast. Come on, what I'm doing here. And it's more the same game. So, meanwhile, guys like Roly Poly, y'all know what I'm talking about. Oh, man. It's also playing that game. Come on, man. You should be here all night to get over. Yeah, meanwhile, guys like Roly Poly is still playing that game and throwing YouTubers under the bus because he just came late for the party, which he did. There's no doubt about that. Roland Martin, all these years, you know, he, and I'm going to tell you what he wasn't about. And he can talk all that bullshit all the fuck he want to, but let's be real, dude. You wasn't about no black agenda. Okay, you may be about a black guy who ran newspapers or was a media editor for television programs or headed television programs at different networks. You're just a figurehead, brother. Don't try to act like you a civil rights leader because you ain't nowhere near that. All right? Let's be honest. Okay? You are about to butter biscuits. You proven that with your dance off with Hillary Clinton in 2008. All right. You've proven that when you talk with a white supremacist about a year or two ago, where he actually, even he couldn't get you to admit that you were a black man. You said you were a man first. I'm a man. I'm a man. You wouldn't even own the fact that you're a black man first. You know? That's another whole story. But, you know, and I see you wearing dashikis and all kinds of stuff. Now you singing Kumbaya. You didn't do it on CNN. You didn't do it on TV One. You know. But I'm not, you know. And here's the other thing. If you were such a highbrow, high class, upper crust, a real go-getter in terms of the black agenda, where the fuck was you at in Baltimore, brother? Because I don't remember seeing you out there. Where was you at in St. Louis when all that mess was going on? I think you may have been down Stanford, but I can't. Stanford, but I don't even remember you being there. You know, but I know for certain you went in Baltimore. You know, you weren't even in the vicinity as far as talking about. I mean, as far as being there. You know. No, that's all I had to say about Roland Martin. Roland Martin is, you know, right now you would think he'd be trying to bond together the black agenda, but he's really, you can tell, he rides with whoever's popular. He don't care about their policies. And and on top of that, this Negro gonna talk about you can't be expected to have an agenda or at 3 days after you put in your nomination to become president or put in your candidacy to become president. I mean, what? Are you fucking serious? Why would people put out exploratory committees before they put in for their candidacy? Because they're trying to work around an agenda before they put the candidacy out. Yeah, you should already have an agenda. You should already have a list of policies that you want to put out there when you decide to run. You absolutely should do that. For him to say that was irresponsible. And let's be real. Someone else said it best, and I totally agree with him on that. A YouTuber said that really Roland Martin really, he doesn't pander to consciously thinking African Americans. He never has. Roland Martin, he panders to a certain intellect. You know, he does. There's no doubt about that. To people who shout out, oh, well, we need to vote for Kamala Harris because she's black. Yeah, this means you Ricky Smiley. You know, now looking at our policies, you know, I mean, and think about it. It seems like everybody that they always try to put up front for you to vote for who's black predominantly been light-skinned. Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, Cory Booker, you know. Think about it. Those are the ones they always shout out. Those are the ones that come up with the things that they want you to make, you know, they just want you to ride along, get along, but just because they're black and don't have much else behind it. No real meat behind anything. No tangibles, as they say. No tangibles behind none of their policies. Nothing where it's going to really benefit you. You know? And I can actually tell you right up front, I watched Kamala Harris' speech from Oakland. Nothing she said was going to benefit African Americans in that speech. Nothing. Not one damn thing that she said. And don't tell me that she's not supposed to be having an agenda when you run for office. Yes, the fuck you are. You're supposed to do it. Because that was really technically her first, you know, was her first major speech announcing her candidacy. You want to tell me about then you don't have an agenda? That's bullshit. And then the one goofy bitch was on Roland's show. I forgot. It's the one that defended Cosby. Well, some luck Cosby had having her as a lawyer. You know what I mean? And she was kind of riding Roland's coattails about that. You know? And like, are you serious? Well, she was talking about, well, if black people wanted an agenda, they should be the ones to have one and then present it to them. No, we had longer standing agenda for decades. People know about that. This is nothing new. This is not a shocker about it. We've always had an agenda about stuff that we wanted to have presented as tangibles to us. We've always had that. And she had no to say that stupid shit. She's saying that the cans does not have to have the agenda. That the people need to have the agenda. No, the candidates, if you want the candidates to represent you, they better have an agenda because they ought to be the ones that know who you about. And like, was it either TJ or Professor Black Truth said, you know, you need to be about the people and you need to be about the people in the streets too. None of those three candidates were really about that I mentioned. I know for damn sure Kamala Harris is not. She's not about that. She wants to pretend like that just because she's from Oakland. But I heard she's from a different side of Oakland, so that probably don't even count anyway. But I don't really know I know some about what I heard about her upbringing, and she don't really talk about black people much about it in her upbringing. She really don't. Even from her book when she did her book tour, or I mean her had a presentation in the book at Georgia, right out here in Georgia. I think it was George Washington, right out here in the DMV, early last month. Or sometime last month before she made the announcement. But there had been a rumor going around for about, I think, 2 years that she had considered running for president anyway. I'm not going to vote for her. I'm going to tell you right in front. I'm not going to do it. That's just me. She's not my choice. Based on the stuff I've seen her do, based on the policies that she's talked about, and she really didn't really give a fuck about in terms of the people who she was hurting behind her policies. I'm not voting for her. I'm not. I just can't. I can't consciously say, you know, yeah, she's the choice for me because she don't represent me. She would never represent me well at all. You know? But one thing I'll give her credit for, at least she's honest from what I heard about what she's already representing, and that lets me know that she's not the candidate I want to represent me. At all. You know. You can see right through her. But we immediately need right now, and this is my suggestion, to look for a candidate that's about the black agenda, that's about people in the high places and the low spots. Real talk. Somebody who comes from the bowels of the neighborhoods and work their way up from the ground up, the very bottom ground on up. Somebody who knows what's needed in our communities. Kamala Harris is not from that community, and neither was Barack Obama, and I don't think Cory Booker was either. None of those three were. You know, that's just the way I see it. And that's why I will not vote for her. I won't. I have no desire to vote for her. I have no desire. None. Notice the media hasn't really been saying too much about Kamala Harris either. They haven't said a whole lot. They really haven't. You know. Because they already know. If you focus on her, you got to talk about the big backlash against her. Which they haven't really said anything about, to be honest. They haven't said nothing about it. Nothing about it. Because they still want her to be the forerunner in politics on the Democratic Party side. You know? But right now, the focus is on Ralph Northam, who, to be honest, backpedaled the statement. You know? And at that point, he should definitely... What is our ring at that? You know, he should definitely not be trusted at all. Not only should he not be trusted, he needs to be out of there. He needs to be out of there immediately because he's a candidate that's proved beyond a reasonable doubt that he's not by his word. He's not honest. He's proven that. He's proven that he's full of shit. You know? And then they're going to try, because they know that he's close to getting put out. Now they want to throw the lieutenant governor on the bus. They think they're slick. That's what pissed me off. And it don't completely surprise me that they would do that, because I had a feeling that they probably would. And that's what they did. You know, this is what these fuckers do, man. The daggone lamestream racist media, man. They have a long-standing tendency of doing stuff like that for years. You know, long-standing tendency of doing that. Oh my God. Yeah, get over it, man. Like now. Jeez. And they continue to do so. Why? Because they want to keep it white. You know, and here's the crazy part. It's the same newspaper that published the report about Ralph Northam is the same newspaper that published a report about Lieutenant Governor Justin Sparks. Yeah. They know what they're doing. In essence, they're really helping out Northam by doing that. And they know it. You know? And like somebody said, politics plays both sides of people's interests. They really do. They play the side of the poor and the rich at the same time. And guess who wins in the long run? Politicians do, of course. You know, they do. They always going to have some skin in the game. Always. That's why they always say politicians make strange bedfellows, because they do play both sides of the game on everything. You know, and in the last few weeks I've learned that. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. You know, Kamala Harris with her dancing in her seat or talking about Wakanda and all of that, and she's on the front of doing a speech talking about vote, you know, think about voting for me, and the thing says Kamala for Wakanda. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Really? But she finds everything funny when it comes to fucking with black people. That's the thing that bothers me more than anything. She actually finds that amusing more. And even about locking up parents of truant children. I was offended as fuck about that. When she did that, I was so pissed off, man. I was pissed. Because she doesn't take anything or anybody seriously when it comes to that. She don't even take black folks seriously at all when she said that. I said, what a total bitch, man. You know. And you got to be a bitch to be doing some shit like that any day. What is wrong with these people today? Y'all don't know how to fucking drive, man. And then you got assholes right behind me. I'm just going, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to do a podcast where I talk about these retarded drivers out here. Because this has been constant almost every day since I've been coming this. Every day out here like this. Especially this time of month, which I find amazingly crazy because there's tons of traffic out here every freaking morning. But, yeah, like I said before, we need to get our own candidates. Stop waiting for people to get the candidates for you and get the people who's going to represent you from the roots to the tooth, from the top to the bottom. You know, in other words, the people who know people from every parts of our agenda. That's going to represent our agenda well. Not somebody who's going to create policies to use it against you. All right, with that note, this is DJ Wolf.